Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to dig into a really simple but powerful idea that might just completely flip how you think about food and, weight loss. It's this concept that explains why you could be doing everything right, but still not getting the results you want.
This quote right here, it just gets to the heart of all the confusion, doesn't it? So many of us have blamed carbs for everything. But what if the real problem, the real villain, is something else that's hiding in plain sight? Stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what that something worse is and what to do about it. Okay, so for years, the big debate has been low carb versus low fat. We're always told we have to pick a side, right? But what's so confusing is that people seem to have success with both approaches. So what is the real issue here? Let's actually break it down.
So here it is, the big idea we're going to explore today. The real enemy isn't carbs or fat. It's not a macronutrient at all. It's the ultra-processing. It's all the chemicals that strip our food of any real value and just create total chaos in our bodies. The moment you shift your focus to cutting out chemicals, you'll find that the bad carbs and the bad fats, they kind of just disappear on their own.
This brings us to a whole new way of looking at this, a much clearer framework. Seriously, forget good carbs versus bad carbs. From now on, let's think in terms of living carbs and dead carbs. Trust me, this little shift in how you see things, it's a total game changer. So what in the world is a dead carb? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a carb that has been processed so much that there is absolutely nothing beneficial left in it. There's no life, no vitamins, no minerals, no fiber. All it gives you is a massive blood sugar spike, the crash that follows, and then this powerful craving for more of the same junk. It doesn't just fail to give you energy, it actively takes it away.
And just look at this, the difference is night and day, right? Over on the left, you've got your living carbs. These are foods that came from something real, something found in nature. They're just packed with good stuff. But then on the right, you've got the dead carbs, the crackers, the white bread, the box meals. These are things that come from a factory, not a farm. And the crazy thing is, they are absolutely everywhere. We're talking about stuff like pretzels, most breakfast cereals, the packaged pasta dishes, and even things that seem kind of harmless, like crackers or some canned soups. These are the foods with ingredient lists that are a mile long, and they're literally designed to make you want more.
But here's the one so many people forget about: alcohol. You can basically think of it as a dead carb times 2. First, it's just empty calories and sugar. That's it. And second, it completely torpedoes your willpower, which usually leads to making some pretty bad food choices later that night, choices you'll definitely regret the next day.
Okay, so we've identified the problem. We know what dead carbs are, but how do you get rid of them without feeling miserable or deprived or needing superhuman willpower? Let's get to the solution, and it's actually surprisingly simple.
Now this right here is the most crucial point of this whole thing. Instead of obsessing about restricting and cutting things out of your diet, the real strategy is to focus on adding something in, specifically adding protein to every single meal. This one simple shift kicks off this incredibly powerful positive chain reaction in your body.
Let me just walk you through how this actually works. When you make protein the first priority on your plate, you just naturally feel fuller and more satisfied. This is huge because it stabilizes your blood sugar, which is the key to crushing those intense cravings for junk food. And as a result, the dead carbs, they just kind of fall away on their own.
And that's the real magic of it. You're not fighting this constant battle against yourself all day long. You simply don't want the crackers or the cookies anymore because your body is finally getting what it actually needs to feel satisfied. It becomes almost effortless.
Okay, so this brings us to the final and honestly, maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle. A plan that actually lasts isn't just about following rules. It's about fundamentally changing how you think about food. This quote, it actually comes from a really powerful story about a family member who was avoiding fruit because she was scared of the carb count. But at the same time, she thought it was totally fine to eat a processed McDonald's bun because it fit into her daily carb limit. I mean, this just shows you the massive flaw in modern diet culture. When you see it laid out like this, the choice is just obvious, isn't it? The goal isn't just to hit some random number on an app. The goal is to actually nourish your body. Is a highly processed, nutrient-empty bun really a better choice than a whole, vitamin-packed orange? Of course not. It has to be about food quality, not just the numbers. And hey, please remember, this is not about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. The 80-20 rule is your best friend here. If you can focus on making great choices 80% of the time, that occasional slice of pizza or piece of cake isn't going to derail all your progress. In fact, allowing for it might be what helps you stay consistent for the long haul.
All right, let's bring all of this together. Let's wrap all of this up into a clear, actionable plan that you can literally start using today to create some lasting change.
First, I want to show you a number that's, well, it's pretty sobering. Over 85% of people who lose weight on a traditional diet eventually regain it all. So why is that? It's because those diets rely on willpower, and willpower always runs out. The real key is to build new habits and to change how you see food for good.
So, to recap the crucial points, first, shift your focus from cutting carbs to cutting out chemicals and processed junk. Second, actively swap out those dead carbs for living, whole food carbs. Third, make protein the star of every single meal to kill cravings naturally. And finally, aim for sustainable habits, not impossible short-term perfection.
This whole process, it all starts with just one small change. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's one dead carb in your diet right now that you could easily swap for a living one this week? Maybe it's trading crackers for an apple or swapping that sugary cereal for some yogurt and fruit. That one small step, that's how real, lasting change begins.